Welcome to the Central Pennsylvania Music Podcast. Tonight's guests, Jared and Daniel of Oversoon. And now, your hosts, Daniel Kime and Alan McCutcheon.
Hello and welcome to the Central Pennsylvania Music Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel. Tonight we have Jared and Daniel of Oversoon. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Happy to be here.
Really excited to have you. So, man, there's so much to talk about with you guys. I'm going to let you take the reins. Tell us where you want to start.
Yeah, we are on the tail end of preparing a album and accompanying short film slash visual series of music videos that tell a story from front to back. Talk more about that a little later. But yeah, we've been writing and prepping and filming and producing and recording and mixing and working with a bunch of really cool, talented people. And yeah, for about a year and a half.
Wow.
And everything's just about done. Like, we're kind of the type of people who want to like wrap everything before we start rolling anything out. So like all of it's like almost done. Working on a couple more mixes, working with a few mixing engineers on that, and then a couple music video edits. But yeah, stuff's going to start rolling out soon. So we're like super pumped to actually get this out there into the world.
Yep.
So we've been hard at work.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I mean, I like the idea too of making sure everything's done, fine-tuned and everything before we put it out there. Like, put your mark on it, we're good to go.
Yeah.
So how did you guys come to that decision to start releasing your music and your projects like that?
We did it the wrong way first.
Gotcha. Love it.
Whenever we were like earlier on in making music, especially when we were under like a previous name, Anova, I was still a Messiah. We were kind of starting to like explore doing music on our own. And whenever we had our very, very first song that we wanted to release, we like announced the date while we were still like writing and producing the song, and then naturally like it takes longer than you think, so we like pushed it off, and then like the mixing or mastering or something took longer, and then we pushed it off again. So like just kind of that we were getting excited too early, so it's really hard to like hold things back. But I think after doing it wrong a few times of just like teasing stuff, also like teasing something and then it comes out like 4 months later, like especially like with the current demographic of everybody having attention span shorter than a goldfish, like it's better to like, you know, say like, hey everybody, this is coming out in 2 weeks, instead of like, you know,
6 months.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right,
I totally get that. And, you know, everyone works a little bit differently too. I mean, I've certainly interviewed some bands that have been like, yeah, well, you know, we kind of bit off more than we can chew. We told everyone the album would be out in 2 months, and we were like 3 weeks from releasing, and we didn't have a single song wrote yet. So we just, you know, we just threw it together and it came out awesome. And it's like, very cool. Everyone works differently.
Yeah.
You know, and
for sure.
Not saying there's any right or wrong way to do it, but I think everyone needs to find their way. And I think you guys figured out what works for you. And that's awesome.
For sure.
It's also been a minute since we put out music, so we wanted to like lay the foundation and come back like strong and like come back the right way. So we built a music studio in our parents' basement. The three of us are brothers. And me, Jared, and then our another brother, Jordan. If you're watching on the video, you'll see him on this laptop.
Lift that up real quick and shift to that camera right
here.
Oh wait, that's the one that's aimed at me.
He's
Sorry, that one right there.
He's a real handsome fella for those of you who are just listening. But yeah, he's on his way to Florida right now, so
Nerd.
Anyway, but yeah, we built a studio in my parents' basement and got like our live rig all worked out, and then just kind of like started writing. We were actually writing a different album. Well, it was going to be the album we were going to put out, with themes of like slowing down and not centering your life around like busyness. And we liked it, and we were working on some songs, and then I wrote a song called Sorry Soul, and we liked the song a lot. It just didn't fit like thematically. We're big like concept album themes, like having consistent lyrical themes throughout an album, not just a collection of songs, but like telling a story.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like didn't fit lyrically, the song Sorry Soul. We were like, you know what, let's just like finish it and put it out. So we did. So that one's actually out already. Sorry Soul. We put that out, what, year and a half ago, something like that. And then we were still working on this like slowing down album. And then I wrote another song called Stale. And that one also didn't fit lyrically, but it fit lyrically with Sorry Soul. And then Jordan at one point was like, you know what, Daniel, if you're like writing these songs that like don't fit the current vibe, let's just kind of like run with it and see what happens. So just write a few more songs in that vein if that's what you're feeling inspired to do. And then so I was like, yeah, that'll be cool, because it's kind of what I was vibing with, this sort of like grungier, bass driven, kind of like gritty alt pop sound.
Like it.
And so I wrote a couple more, and it was going to be an EP, and then Jared jumped in with the writing and Jordan jumped in with some writing, and ended up turning into a full 10 songs. We were like, you know what, this is going to be the album. Not so we kicked the Slowing Down album may or may not actually see the light of day. We'll see. We kind of like punted that down the road, and then like once we get past this album, we'll kind of revisit and see if that's something we're still feeling inspired to finish, or we'll just go with a new direction. But yeah, we're really happy with kind of the turn we took into sort of like a darker, grittier sound, but still with sort of that sort of pop fun feel that we love.
I love that.
And hopefully leaning into some dance elements as well.
Yep.
We're a big fan of dance music, but like we play like a rock band, so somewhere in there.
Like you can still get up and move to it, right?
Right.
No, that's awesome. So I guess what you're trying to say is, we're having a little bit of a change of sound moving forward then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We finally, the first album that we put out, which was actually under our old band name, Anova. But the first album we put out, we all liked it. We were all really proud of it, and I really liked those songs. But it kind of felt like an interesting art piece. Like you go to a museum and you're like, wow, that's so interesting. Honey, come here, look at this piece of art. And you both look at it and you're like, that's awesome. But you like never put it in your home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's cool and we're super proud of it. But the new music, we feel like, is the first time that we're not only making music we're proud of, but we're making music that we really like to listen to.
Yeah.
So we'll go back. We listen to these songs fairly regularly just because we like them. Not because we're looking for something in the mix or trying to analyze it. We just enjoy listening to it.
Yep.
So Oversoon's got a fresh sound.
Fresh sound, fresh face.
That's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Man, so what would you say was kind of a, how do I want to word this? Like when you were saying how you were writing kind of a different sound, what would you say was kind of the deciding factor outside of your drummer saying, all right, let's kind of stick with this vein? Like what track did you get to where you're like, okay, this is the new sound?
I think that it kind of felt like, like Daniel said, we were sort of pushing this direction towards the Slowing Down album. And then whenever he was like, oh, let's do this song, and then, oh, let's do this song, it was like, I think there was like one step where we were like, okay, well, we're still going to do that album, but let's just do an EP real quick just to kind of like practice things in this realm. And then once it started writing itself, I think that was the moment we were kind of like, all right, like let's explore this more, since it's happening naturally, right? Like with creative stuff, you always want to kind of like let it flow in the direction that it's going on its own.
Yeah.
And then I think that once I kind of wrote a song in the realm of it, and then Jordan also did, I think we all sort of felt the excitement, and like we were all flowing with it in the same direction, and we all liked the sound of it and the feel of it. So then even though it was different what we'd kind of been projecting to do, I think that in a season where we were like discovering our sound more, and we still are, but I think like in a season where we were still discovering our sound, it was kind of like, oh, well, we all like this. It's kind of one of those moments where like, do you guys want to do this? We were all on page with it. And I think that. And then the more we ran with it, the more like it was like positive reinforcement of like, yes, we love this. And like, yes, this is happening naturally. And Jordan does the visuals, and he started coming up with that. And he was like, I love these visuals. And Daniel focuses on narrative, and he's like, there's a really good narrative here between all the songs. So it just kind of it was like snowball affecting on itself.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Stale's going to be the first single coming out May 29th. Get it out into the world along with a music video. Stale, I think probably that's the one that really like kickstarted us pushing into this new sound. And I would say through the whole process sort of remained like the center point. Like it's just, there's like a growling bass riff that's just through the whole song. I'm a keys player, but I wanted to be able to move around more during live shows. So I like purposely didn't put like proper keys in a lot of these songs so I could just be on the mic and jumping around or whatever. So Stale kind of like hit all the check marks for the things that we wanted to do, especially live moving forward. Just kind of like that like gritty bass and drums with a bunch of synth and dance stuff going on. Got like a talk box. What did Jordan run through that? Synth talk box?
Something like that.
At the end of the song. And yeah, we wanted the outro kind of just be this big, like almost disco jam session. Yeah. It's kind of like all the things we were like, we should push our sound here. Stale kind of wraps all that up. And then all the other songs have pieces of all of those things. And we like to have kind of a lot of different sounds on an album in general. So the songs kind of vary.
Yeah.
You know, what they actually sound like. We even have the closer on the album is even pretty like acoustic and chill. But yeah. And ironically, Stale's like pretty smack dab in the middle of the album as well, which kind of works.
And I was gonna say, ironically, it sounds like Stale's like not gonna be stale at all. It sounds like
yeah.
Like the opposite of that, like getting people up and moving, and like that's sick. I'm really excited for that.
It's very, very fun.
Yeah.
So was any part of this like you said you were all stoked about it, but was any part of this scary, kind of changing your sound?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I think that like every artist goes through that like inevitable thing of like, because like we're all our own worst critics. I think like all of us have had like pendulums of like, does this all suck? To we love this, but like, you don't know what people are going to think of it because like it's not out there yet. You know, so we can show friends and family, but like everybody's, you know, kind of slanted to be like, whoa, this is cool and exciting. So I think that it was definitely terrifying because it's especially as you put more, you know, Jordan and I are both nurses. We went like halftime music, halftime nursing. Daniel had like a job as like a data analyst and like he quit that and like started doing music and wedding videography. So I think especially as you start to put like your like eggs in two baskets, you know, like you're starting to put more and more time and like finances into music, I think it becomes really scary because you're like, we're changing this, but like, what if it doesn't work? There's like that inevitable fear. Yeah. So that was definitely scary.
I was just talking with Jordan the other day. I was like, there's this weird balance to find when you're making music that you can't just be completely consumed by what everybody's going to think about it. Because then you're just going to make like really like soulless pop music. That's just like what's going to appeal to the most people. Like that can't be your driving factor when you're making music. Like you want to make stuff that you genuinely like, you feel like's fresh, that you can really vibe with and really be proud of. At the same time, you can't be so like absorbed in just liking the music yourself that you forget that other people will be listening to this music. Like there's this weird kind of like pride on both ends of like, you know, I just want people to like me and I don't care what anybody thinks. Because we do care what people think about our music. Like we are really proud of it and we are making the kind of music that we want to make, but we're not just making it for us. If we were, we wouldn't have a need to release it. You know what I mean? Like it would just be for us. So yeah, there's this kind of like weird fear of like, even though we have friends that have said they like it and we've shown it to different people for input and critique at various points in the process, and people all are like, yes, this is good, you should put this out. There's still this kind of like weird fear of once you like put it out in the world, it's out. You know, it's out there.
Well, and I mean, I think that's totally rational because. So I think I just referenced them in the last episode, and I promise I'm not going to continue to do this. But like my all-time favorite band, they just released, I want to say like their 12th or 13th album, or maybe it's their 11th or 12th album.
Crazy.
They're called The Main. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of them, but you've heard of them? Yeah. So they just came out with their first album, or their like 11th or 12th album a couple weeks ago. And me and Logan Summey from Rock Mill Industries, he's like the only other person I know that loves them as much as I do. And I ran into him the other day. We were talking about the new album, and we were like, it is crazy how every single album has sounded so different, and yet you still love the band, you know? So, and not saying that your next album is going to sound any different. Maybe this is a sound that you've settled into, and you're going to love it and stick with it forever. But like, I think as long as you're doing what you enjoy and you are committed to whatever it is you're doing, people will totally appreciate that. I think you guys know that already too. Like,
not for sure.
And I feel like we have checked that first box of like, we are really proud of this project.
We're excited about it.
The music, the visuals, the narrative, like the attention to detail. We've tried to not cut corners everywhere that we're able to not cut corners. We are like super pumped.
Long process.
And I think people are going to like it. I really do. But, you know, is easier to say after the fact.
Well, I mean, I'm sure people will. I mean, you gave me a little sneak preview before we started recording, and I was already like, yeah, this is sick. So I'm really excited for you
Appreciate
guys. Of course. So the first single is out May 29th.
Yes.
Okay, so
And that will be
very
Stale.
soon.
Yep, Stale. That's the one we were talking about earlier.
Gotcha. Is there a music video with this one, or
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that coming out the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
day?
So
or?
there will be a music video with every single song on the album.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Which is
10 music videos.
10 music videos, which is terrifying and exciting.
It was a lot.
It was a lot of work. Yeah. We filmed for like 4 months, like over the span of 4 months. I think like 5 or 6 different states, 2 different crews, many a nights past like 3 or 4 a.m. and stuff. So it's been like a lot of work, but we're really, really excited about it. It was an idea that I had actually.
Yeah.
I had this moment. I was at the time, my now wife, we were dating, and she was going to school down in Virginia, so I had a lot of 4-hour drives back and forth.
Gotcha.
And I would listen to the album just kind of on repeat, just to kind of come up with ideas and stuff. But I remember this moment where I was like, thematically, I was thinking about where all the songs are, and I was like, this would make sense as like, we had written it as like a story of like, kind of front to back type thing, but then I was like, this would make so much sense. There's kind of a video idea, a loose video idea that I had for each one, and the ideas we had already had. I was like, what if we did a music video for everyone and made it like a 30-minute project, basically? Like it could play like
film.
it could play like a short film. Okay. Exactly, yeah. I think it's kind of fun because I think that the narrative of the album is what is like most important to us about anything that we create, is the narrative of the album, and like the story we're seeking to tell. Yeah, the lyrics. But also I think it's really, really fun because like we live in very much of like a short form content, dopamine addiction type society. And I think it's really, really fun that like where everybody, it seems like the common thing that the people say to do now is like come out with a single, promote it for 2 months, come out with another single, promote it for 2, and then just like do that because people want new. So I thought it would be kind of a fun, like stiff arm to where we're currently at as music to be like, we're going to come up with a music video for every single one. So there was that moment I came to Daniel and Jordan and I was like, guys, I have an idea. I was like, sit with it before you say no.
Don't shoot me down.
Like, don't shoot me down. I was like, but what if we did a music video for every single song? And
my initial thought was, that sounds like a lot of work. So
My initial thought is that sounds like a lot of money.
yes,
yeah, that too. And I was like, if we're gonna do this, like you need to like really sell us on a storyline for this thing, because like the album tells a story lyrically, but it's more thematically speaking. Like the lyrics in the songs don't have like characters and dialogue. It's not like that kind. It's just
it's not like all ballads.
It has
exactly.
like a thematic arc to it, which we like. But I was like, if we're gonna have a short film, it's gonna need to have some like, more tangible content and characters and that sort of thing. So I was like, you're gonna have to really convince us. And you did.
And then I did.
Must be one heck of a salesman, huh?
Yeah. It took me a while. I remember I pitched it to my, again, then girlfriend, now wife. I pitched it to her, and she's in the creative world. She's a novelist. And I remember her being like, I think this could work. So she helped me like flesh out the story a bit and like the ideas and stuff. And then I pitched it to the bros, and
we took it and ran with it.
we took it and ran with it.
That's so sweet.
So speaking of it being expensive, we ended up going with sort of like a mixed media approach. And I can't give too many details on this because we haven't...
Government secrets.
We haven't put out we haven't actually put out some of these visuals yet. But basically, we have a handful of the videos are more like full music video productions with like a full crew and, directors and...
What you think of from like a
timesheets.
typical
Yeah, from
music
like a
video.
typical, more expensive music video. And those were a little bit more expensive to make. But then for the rest of the music videos, we ended up going with some old friends of ours who live in Virginia. And they do like shoulder-mounted VHS videography, which is so cool. So it's like, so we did that feel for like the other 6.5. Or for, I guess, the other 7. One of them's kind of mixed. You'll see. But yeah, so those were definitely cheaper to make. But it's like the mixed media is cool because you have some of the stuff that's more like high quality, some of the stuff that's visually more low quality, but it's the same like creative vein that goes through, because you don't need a ton of money to make a super creative music video.
No.
But yeah, money and resources can get you some pretty cool stuff if you do want to make something that looks more polished. So we really liked that we were able to kind of pull off this. It's like the same characters and the same storyline, but like some of the videos look a little bit different than others, but it'll still tell one story throughout. And as a little aside, the more high quality videos also like by themselves tell like a more condensed version of what's going on too. So there's like, we got like a lot of different threads that we're pulling at. But I think it's going to be cool to have a mixed media effect, even just from like putting our music out there, and like some of it looks like this and some of it looks like this, and it'll give people kind of a variety amidst us saying, hey, here's a full project, and not just, like Jared said, a bunch of short form content.
Yeah.
The short form content will be there, but it will all be kind of pointing towards this bigger.
Can't totally avoid it.
Yeah. We'll all be pointing towards this bigger project.
Gotcha. Very nice.
Yeah, and then Jared had talked about Jordan making visuals for the album, and I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about. We made these disco ball helmets. Basically, we got planters, like a disco ball planter.
Okay.
That you're supposed to like put a plant in and hang from your ceiling, and it looks like a disco ball. And then Jordan he cut a ring, cut like an inch around the opening, put like a rubber border on it, and then foam on the inside so we can like wear them as helmets with some like one-way mirrors so that you can actually see out of it a little bit. And they look epic.
Jordan's crazy creative.
Dude, that's awesome.
They look like epic.
Are you guys going to be wearing these live?
For parts of it, yes.
Yeah.
They're
It'll be
really
part
hard
of the
to
live
see
show.
through, so we can't do like the whole show.
I was going to say.
But pieces of the show, yeah, we will wear them.
Yeah.
We were filming part of one of the music videos in downtown Harrisburg, and like, it's like everybody was just like stopping and being like,
Just like see like
staring.
six people walking by in these disco ball helmets and like
these, like,
reflective
suits and harnesses, and these like white tethers coming off of the harness.
People
There's
probably
like,
thought
what
they
the
were
heck
tripping.
I'm glad we didn't cause any accidents. Like everybody that drove by was just like,
What's in this?
what on earth is going on?
I think this is like a good test. It definitely catches the
Yeah.
eye, right?
No. We've actually discussed doing that as like promo. Just like once the stuff starts coming out, just like walk around in different cities. Like
Dude, you walk around downtown Harrisburg at like 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. on a Saturday wearing that?
Yeah.
Definitely going to turn some heads.
I think so. I think
It was so funny.
it's a fun visual element, and it definitely it's a large part of the short film. Of probably almost every music video has at least one of like that.
One disco ball.
Yeah, one disco ball helmeted, which we're calling like Sunops is the name of like those
That character.
that type of character. So it's a large visual piece of the album as a whole.
Yeah, so it has like that sci-fi slant because it feels kind of like outer spacey. We got a lot of like, where's your spaceship when we were walking around. But also it being a disco ball helmet is just very much, hey, we make music. You know, like it has a very like music space feel to it. So Jordan really killed it with the visuals.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious. So it's a 10 album song, and you have 10 music videos for it, and you have one single coming out. How are you doing the music video releases? Are you going to just drop all of them whenever the album comes out? Or how are we doing the release for that?
So each of the singles will have its correlating music video. We'll come out with that. And the idea is
How many singles are there?
There will be 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so there will be three singles that come out, and it'll be, the music video will come out with that. And the idea is kind of people will see it and think like, oh, it's a music video. And then another one will come out and it'll be like, whoa, that connects with the storyline of this. And the third one will come out and be like, whoa, that's so cool. It tells one story. And then when the album comes out, it'll be like getting Lord of the Rings extended version. Like basically suddenly you have a lot more context for everything you saw in the initial 3.
I'm excited for this,
so once
man.
the album drops, all of the other 7 songs, their videos will drop with that essentially.
So it's like album drop day.
Just 7 new videos to watch that
Like
fill all
stay
the spaces.
inside. You got some time. Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, we're so
set
excited.
aside a half hour, watch it intentionally.
That's the idea, is for people to like, the way we would love for people to like consume
Experience
this.
this.
Yeah, experience is probably better. But like the way
watch party. I'm
yeah,
excited.
that's the way we want people to like do it. Is like if you could like sit down, like take a half an hour of your day and like watch it, from front to end, all together as one. Because the music and the visuals will go back to back into each other. So,
and we're not hiding the fact that like we're talking about on this podcast, and we've told people that there's a music video for every song, and they tell a story, and they're all going to piece together. But we haven't officially announced all that stuff on our social media. So there's a lot of people that don't know that that's happening.
Heard it here first? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. We're okay with people knowing. It's totally fine. But when that first video comes out, a lot of people are just going to think it's a cool music video with that. And like Jared said, when the next one comes out, be like, oh, same characters. And then, but like Stale is not song number 1 on the album. So there's a lot of story that comes before that
so
first
you're gonna have a little like prequel going on.
Mm-hmm.
So are you kind of trying to keep it somewhat like ambiguous so that way like people are organically figuring out the story as it goes?
Yes.
Initially, yes. And then the plan is to, once the full album is out, then the track list will be out. And the songs do go in the order of the track list. So that shouldn't be too hard to figure out. So once the track list is once all 10 videos are out, then we'll kind of push more like, hey, watch these in order and you'll see how it all connects.
Yeah.
That's
the idea.
Sick.
And some of the songs have like pretty seamless
excited.
transitions. Like it's real obvious that it goes from this one to that one. A couple of them are a little bit less obvious. But I think especially for those, as those first singles come out, you'll kind of see how it all pieces together. And, yeah.
When does the album come out? Do we have a date?
Government secrets.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be
After the
announced,
singles.
Yeah,
That's
great.
crazy.
I love it. That's a good answer.
Crazy.
Singles.
Yeah, all right, sweet. Well, I mean, I'm excited for it whenever it is because you guys have me extremely excited, and from like the 10 seconds you showed me earlier, I'm just like I'm on edge. I'm gonna be blowing you guys up. So.
Trust me, we are more excited than you are for this album to come out.
It has
You're
just been
so
so long.
Yeah.
We've just been like telling people, I feel like I'm always telling, because I do nursing half-time, I'm always like talking to my coworkers and stuff about like, I'm working on this thing, like I'm in Brooklyn for this thing, like I'm in Virginia for this thing, and like, but nothing from like our public face has like been shown yet.
I promise I'm not lying to you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I promise. Yeah.
And it's gonna be so nice to like when people ask what you're up to, for us to be like, here, go listen. You know, like it's out. Go listen to it. Because right now, like when we were walking around Harrisburg, we got a lot of, what the heck are you guys doing? We're like, oh, we're working on a music video. They're like, oh, sweet, for what? We're like, well, it comes out in a couple of months, so like stay tuned. And it is just a really hard sell to like ask a stranger to like keep tabs on you on the internet for a couple months.
Like 3 or 4 months.
Like no judgment. People just tend to not do that.
Yeah.
Which is totally fair.
Well, especially like you said, in a world of short form content where things are just like constantly being pumped through the algorithm, you know, it's easy to forget.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to tell people, hey, it's out, go check it out, and then that way they can watch it. And you can put videos on Spotify now. That's
oh, that's sick.
Yep.
So we'll be able to actually have all the music videos on Spotify as well. That'll be
Be
pretty
very
sweet.
fun.
So yeah, we're hoping that like we can hook some people with the short form content and with the cool visuals, and then have them stick around for some longer content, because we're big fans of story.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
super awesome. Now, what would you say individually for each of you was your favorite part of developing this new sound?
I think for me, I have been, as Daniel said, like I've been very like proud of what we've made before. But I think that it was more of like, we're learning how to make music. We're learning how to work together as a band and as like a small business, you know, like we operate as a small business. So
Got to do it.
But I think that developing this sound has like, whenever we have done some live shows, because we've kind of tested out these songs with a few live shows. And whenever I'm listening to it, like I get like genuinely excited to like, ooh, you know, we're playing Stale next. I get to play that bass line. So I think for me, that's been like a really, really like fulfilling, fun, beautiful thing to experience. It's like, I like our music. It's like, it's weird to say because like I did like our previous music, but it was more of like, again, we're learning how to make music. This is cool.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I want to play this for my friends. You know, like I want to play this. I want to get this out there. I want people to listen to this. And as Daniel said, like I will like, you know, put it on in the car and be like, yes, I like this, which is just an really exciting feeling. So yeah, it's probably been my favorite moment.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
I think for me, for previous music, I have been the like, not soul, but basically the sole songwriter on stuff. I pretty much write the whole thing. I produce it for the most part. And still music writing, production, and a lot of the video direction stuff is still my primary role in the band. Jordan does visuals and a lot of the business side of things. Jared does social media and a lot of the creation stuff and just general direction. And we all have our hand in all the different things. But for this record, it was a lot more collaborative in the writing process, which was awesome. So there's one song, like Jared wrote this song and he wrote lyrics to it and kind of this sort of sketch of the whole thing. It wasn't quite finished, but just a general idea for a song. And he's like, here, what do you think about this? And I was like, where did you get this bass sound? This is so weird. In a good way, it's weird. He's like, I ran it through a sequencer. And I was like, oh, because like normally you would use a sequencer for like MIDI synths and stuff. And he just like ran his bass through it, which is something I would not have done. And it
I just found a plugin that
he
looked
just
cool.
found a plugin. He's like, what is this? Because Jared doesn't do as much production.
I don't.
And but yeah, it was so cool sounding. And I was like, heck yeah, we got to use this. I was like, but the lyrics don't really fit with where we're going with the album. And so I'm just going to rewrite the lyrics. And I had lyrics I had written for a different song that I was struggling with. So I ended up just using those lyrics on this groove that Jared had come up with. And it's one of my favorite songs on the album. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. Or like we just giving ourselves creative boundaries and running with it. So like putting all of the drums down for a song before we'd written anything else. And just being like, okay, here are the drums. What do we put on top of this?
Yeah.
And then, so we did the drums and then all of the lyrics and singing. And then we started adding chords underneath of it to see kind of like how we could complement. So that's not normally how we would write a song.
I was going to say, is that how you typically
Absolutely not.
No, it would normally be either like me at a piano or finding a specific groove or a bass line. Like kind of, sometimes the drums would go with, but almost never would we start with just the drums and the lyrics without having some sort of like an idea of where we're going.
It was really fun.
So it was a lot more collaborative. And I still ended up doing a lot of this sort of shaping and you know, making the album flow and deciding where songs go. I did a lot of that stuff, but the actual like creation and writing was a lot more collaborative this time, and the album is so much the better for it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So much the better for
very
it.
fun.
Is that like a new writing method for you guys now, or is that how you wrote every song, to clarify, or just a couple?
It kind of depends.
I think
Like you just kind of unlocked a new method.
most of them had some, or
Some
at least
level of that.
I would say a majority of them probably had some level of that, and I think we'll definitely do it moving
Oh, yeah.
forward. I think it
100%.
was really fun. I think that there's like Daniel said before, he's like, I'm an arranger. Like he likes taking something, and even if it sounds very different than what was initially created, like I think his creative brain definitely like thrives on like, let me take what I like about this and change it with this and combine it with this and stuff. And I think that I'm definitely not that. Like I just get too stressed about like the final details and stuff. So I'm
And we're like a sit down with nothing.
yeah,
just,
like
make
I've learned
something.
through making this project it was
Yeah.
the first time I've ever like written songs or anything. It was just kind of like I was in the story. We were kind of writing. I was like, I feel like there should be a song about this, and Daniel's kind of like, and I was like, I feel like there should be a song about this, and I was like, fine, I'll do it myself. And then I like made it. And there's some of the lyrics were just like it's just very silly. Like the one part I was like, can't stand Jackie Chan. Like it was just literally just like rhyming.
lyrics.
Yeah, random rhyming. Then there were certain parts that I wanted to put in there. And it was really fun and fulfilling for me because it was like I got the idea of what I wanted, and then like Daniel actually made it sound good.
Yeah,
and,
he'd
like,
put like a song title on like the list of like the running list of songs, and I would like go over and put like a question mark next to it and be like, convince me.
yeah.
Sell me again.
We're not just putting songs on here willy nilly. Like it's got to fit.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I wanted to touch on the narrative a little bit of what the album.
Please.
We're not gonna give too much away about the music videos, other than the Disco Ball Helmet people. But as far as like thematically, we had wanted to write. We'd started to write some songs about just the cyclical nature of addiction, and not even just like the big addictions like alcoholism and drugs, and like the more, when you think of addiction, that's like the big, the big two that come to mind. But there's just so many other things that people are addicted to that we wouldn't like necessarily call addictions. You call them vices or sin or whatever. But even just like, being like snappy with people all the time and unkind, or like, eating super unhealthy all the time. Like we have these like habits that we want to break, and we just never seem to get around. Like we all know the cyclical nature of like trying to like change a particular habit or pattern in your life. Anyway, so we wrote a couple songs in that vein, and then we're talking. We feel like there's a lot of music out there that deals with that. Like we all kind of agree. Yeah, addiction is like cyclical and it's hard to break out of.
Yes.
Circles, Post Malone. Like there's a bunch of songs out there lyrically like that. And so we have a couple like that, but our main goal for this album was to write basically fight songs for the other side, like the victory side of overcoming something. So like we have a song that's about, the opening line is like, I relapse on the last lap, not square one, just to backtrack. And the song's about, fighting these habits, fighting these addictions is not a matter of, oh, I'm back to square one and I start over. And oh, I relapse and now I'm back to square one and I start over. But rather, like, the mentality is, I'm here for the long haul. I'm here. This is a lifestyle. This is not like me starting over and making a new version of myself. It's like, no, you just pick yourself up and you keep going.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that's not something we feel often when we're fighting these things, but we wanted to give songs that people can sing to kind of fight for that.
Give them
You know what I
hope.
mean? So I think that there can be songs that are very good that deal very accurately with what we experience. And then I think there are songs that are very good that are more what we are trying to experience. So we kind of wanted to lean more into the like the hope and the fight songs. So some of the earlier part of the album deals with some of the more cyclical nature of the addiction, and then after that, it's more, okay, here's songs for someone to sing on the other side of this, or for people who are in some sort of addiction who are striving to be on the other side of it. And we're all in it to some degree all the time with all kinds of habits. So a lot of those themes are reflected in the music videos. But lyrically, the album itself, that's kind of the arc that it follows over the course of the songs.
General big picture, like hope and healing versus like even amidst moments where you give back in type thing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And we hope to push into talking about that and explaining that. You know how Genius will do those, like they sit the artist down and like interview them about, we're going to kind of like do our own little versions of that where we talk about
like the lyrics are so important to us.
Yeah.
Because we can't give away too much of the lyrics now because it's not out yet.
Government secrets.
But once it's out, we're hoping to give a lot more meaning behind these songs.
Yeah.
That's like the core of what we do.
That's amazing. Like, and honestly, from that aspect too, like you were building unlimited content from this album right now. You have the songs, you have the videos, and then after it's all out, now it's like, all right, cool, we're gonna sit down and explain every single one of these to you.
Yeah.
Which I am once again absolutely hyped for to learn about.
Got double hooked.
Oh my god, dude, I'm really excited about this, and I like that you kind of explained it's not just about like the two main things like alcohol and drugs. Like we do live in a very addictive world, habitual world, even, where it's just like people fall into these routines of, I even do it myself. It's like, all right, get off work, take the dog out, make some dinner, go sit on the phone and scroll Instagram for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, time to go get a shower and go to bed. And it's just like trying to break those and like, I'm not sure if that's the route you're going, but that's it sounds like it's something that would be inspirational to kind of make a fight for yourself.
Yeah.
And the songs have even been helpful for me so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah. I'm not going to give away too much of it, but Jared wrote this one song. He actually wrote like 10 verses, which was like my dream. Jared's like, here's 10 verses, whittle it down to 3. And I was like, yes.
This is a song I had the Jackie Chan lyric for.
Okay.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
The Jackie Chan lyric did not make the cut. But the song was basically about how, like, when you're tempted to give into a habit that you don't want to give into, that's the moment that you can't trust yourself. And that's the moment that laws and like things you put in place to help you not do things, like that's when it matters. Like if nobody ever felt like stealing, there wouldn't be laws about not stealing. Just nobody would do it. The people who steal, like when they do it, they're finding ways to justify it.
Yes.
And they're like finding ways to like, it's like, oh, well, I don't have this, they do, or, oh, they won't miss this, or like, I just don't care, or whatever. But it's like the laws, figuratively and metaphorically speaking, are put in place for the times when we don't feel like they're right.
Yeah.
So you have to like trust that you're the crazy one in this moment until you get on the other side of that urge. And then you can look back and be like, what was I thinking? You know, so like,
Dude.
so the song is
Yeah.
like the hook of the song is like, I'm a madman. So like I've thought that so many times when I'm like I even have just like such a sugar addiction sometimes. I'm just like, I really don't need another whatever. And even something as like silly as that and small as that, like sometimes I'm just like, I know I need another Dr. Pepper. Like, I'm like, no, I actually kind of don't right now. Like I probably use some water in my life right now.
Yeah.
And then, but it's like, it's so crazy how even those like silly little things, when you like deny yourself that, your body's like, no, you need it. And then I have to like, I've actually sang that song a couple times in like really dumb little moments like that. It's like, no, I'm the madman right now.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
Just get some
Like,
personal discipline. In,
oh my
you know?
God, just like self-control even.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's wild.
That is
man.
a lost art.
Dude, it really is, man. It's
goodness.
tough. You know, and I think, you know, a big part of that is the instant gratification world that we live in these days.
Yeah.
You know, like,
For sure.
And we're right there with everybody else.
Yeah,
right.
You know, like,
I mean, nobody is-
we haven't figured this out.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say nobody here is pretending to be completely innocent of anything.
No.
But
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, it's like if we can find a way to work through this together and support each other, that's all it's about, man.
Yeah.
So
The timing of it is definitely very exciting because obviously we started writing this like a year and a half ago, and it feels like even in just a year and a half, it's only gotten more, you know, short form, like quick content and stuff. So we're really excited about how it feels like it's even more relevant now than it was whenever we started writing it, which is really exciting.
and it's just gonna keep getting worse, and it's gonna be even more. relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're hoping we can really provide people with like some hope and
Some fight songs.
and just some kind of ideas to reflect on about how to make progress, how to heal, how to like have a lifeline, just through like, you know, surrendering and trusting your community and all that stuff. So
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys gonna do? Is there gonna be any shows coming up or anything like that in the future to promote the album or display the album or anything?
yes. So we have some shows that we're still like working on, like finalizing dates and getting stuff figured out. But we will be playing in Dillsburg, really close to the studio, on June 5th at Tucker & Co. Bakery.
Okay.
That'll be like an outdoor show. That's probably the only one that's like close to now, but we're definitely hoping to. We're going to be, now that once we're kind of have everything submitted and have all the film stuff totally finished up, we're going to like start building a live show. And we're definitely like we love playing music live, and especially now that we have music that we're very excited about and has that message and everything, we definitely have like a passion to play live. So we will definitely have shows coming up for sure.
I was gonna say, even Daniel, you were saying like, you know, you specifically wrote this album, so it's a little bit more fun to play live.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
100%.
No, for sure.
Yeah, and we'll probably do some album release shows and stuff like that when all that comes out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hoping to rent
I
out
say,
like
yeah,
a
just
theater
like
and stuff.
keep an eye on
nice.
our social medias. Well, Instagram's probably like our main spot, but also like our website or whatever.
for sure.
And then we'll do all the announcements there as we finalize these details.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Sick. Well, guys, we're running low on time here. I just wanted to check and see if there's anything else that we wanted to cover here or shout out before we go ahead and wrap this up to this evening.
I wanted to. I mentioned this earlier in passing, but we have just worked with some of the coolest people in making this project.
Yeah.
I mean, the three of us drive the ship, and we're like, keeping an eye on everything. But I mean, we've had photographers and videographers and production assistants and mixing engineers and mastering engineers and even just like friends giving feedback on songs. The super musical friends who are giving really specific production critique, and like people who know nothing about production who are just like giving gut level initial feedback on songs, and they're equally important.
For sure, yeah.
Because not everybody who listens to these songs, actually the large majority of people who will listen to these songs, are not professional musicians. So we want to know how they feel about these songs. But yeah, I mean, there's been more people involved in helping us make this project than anything we've done in the past. Even just musicians on the album itself, some guitarists and vocalists and lots of different people that have helped out. We've just been so like overwhelmed by like the community coming together. I mean, it is the three of us in the band, but there's like so many different artistic visions and hands in this project.
Yeah.
And even just like our friends and family and church family and everybody just like being so supportive and our wives for being supportive of
Yep.
all of our weekends that we've been away. I've got 2 kids, so Caitlin watching the boys, and yeah, they've definitely made some sacrifices in the last couple months, and we are super, super grateful
Yeah.
for all of their support and understanding, and they're, I think, just as excited about the album coming out.
No, I think that
amazing.
My
everybody-
boys are pumped for it. They already know all the songs because they hear them on repeat in the house as I'm working on them.
Your 2 biggest
I don't
fans.
I don't think they realize that they're not out yet, because I can play them for them whenever they want to listen to
Yeah.
them. You know?
Yeah.
Privilege,
Yeah.
nepotism.
But yeah. But yeah, no, we're just super grateful and and humbled to have that many people on board, and we're excited to invite in everybody else.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm
As soon
so
as
on
this
board
is
with you
out.
guys
To
now.
actually
so-
start to see it,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it'll be very, very fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely like
super grateful.
that's definitely really influenced the final product too. I think that's another thing that's like made me really excited about it, is that like in previous projects we've kind of done everything ourselves. Like we'll outsource stuff like, hey, can you video this? But it was like Daniel being like, can you video it from here, and then video it from here.
Yeah.
But I think like outsourcing to the 2 film crews that we've worked with, Glass Gun is like the one
But like full production.
yeah, they're like they're the ones who will work on like the more full production ones, and then That's Awesome Media is the group that we worked with for
VHS.
the VHS ones.
Okay.
And I think like seeing how Nico and John of Glass Gun and then Joe of That's Awesome Media, like letting them have some like creative a lot of creative direction with it, I think was like such a fulfilling experience, because just realizing that like we do have certain skills, but like we also definitely have like gaping like areas of weakness.
We can't do everything.
Yeah,
Totally
exactly.
get-
So
those guys back there, like, I know
exactly.
exactly what you mean.
So I think that's going to make a really, really big difference in the final product. And one of the reasons that we're really loving, now that we're starting to see final edits and stuff, I think one of the reasons we're really loving it the most is because it's like seeing other people who are like specialize in this thing or this thing or this thing doing it and being like, oh, that's why it never looked as good, you know, like so stuff like that. And just really seeing people get on board with the vision has been like really, really encouraging and exciting as well. And that's not even to mention like the workload, you know, like them doing stuff so we can do other stuff. Like we're really excited about that part.
Just really great people.
Yeah, fun people.
Like I would just hang out with all of the people who have worked on this project. Just as
Lots of
friends.
laughter for sure.
Yeah. I can't. So many times we've been like when the project wraps, we're like, so when are we hanging out now? Yeah, when are we hanging
Right.
out?
You want to go
Like,
get sheets?
We've been like spending a lot of time with you guys over the last couple weekends, and bye.
Yeah.
Seeing that we'll work with you next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been very, very fun. A
Yeah.
unique manifestation of doing 10 videos is that like you get close
Spend a
to
lot of time.
Spend a lot of time with the different film crews in a way that you wouldn't if you just did kind of one-offs.
I'm sure there's a lot of bonding with that as well.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working on something as like, you know, a project that you've put out yourself where it's like, this is my work and now you're experiencing it with me.
Yeah.
That's got to be an awesome experience.
That's
we have
been
a
very
ton
fun.
of behind the scenes content that we're going to be pushing, because that experience was almost as fun as like the project
Yeah.
itself. So we want to give people a little window into like how all of this was made. So we've been getting a ton of behind the scenes stuff
Yep.
Nice.
because that was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're
Sweet.
pumped.
Guys, I'm so excited for it.
Yeah.
I really cannot wait. So make sure everyone, you're marking your calendars for May 29th for the very first single and the very first music video. You got to make sure you check it out because I'm so excited. So,
Yeah.
So happy to be here.
of course, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Is there anything else you wanted to shout out or anything before we wrap this up?
I don't think so. I mean, we have our most of our socials are under. Shout out Jordan.
Oh, yeah,
Jordan.
labels.
Do you have
Shout
anything
out
to say?
Jordan. Nope.
He's kind of quiet. But yeah, most of our socials are like Oversoon the band. We'll be having, that's where like a lot of our content and stuff will coming out. Jordan, Mr. Artsy, he'll be making like a little magazine. We love we're big fans of like physical media. Again, just in the age of like digital, like everything's getting to more on computers. We love like actually being able to hold something. So we'll be making these little magazines, which if you go through our
Explaining
socials,
a
you'll
bunch
see
of
stuff.
Okay.
The videos
Yeah.
and the lyrics.
It'll have behind the scenes stuff
bunch of
and
stuff in there.
explaining the lyrics and different art that won't be put anywhere else and stuff. So
Awesome.
keep an eye out for those. It'll probably come out closer to the album, but
Yeah.
yeah. That was for Jordan. Jordan would want to talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
that was Jordan's final thoughts.
Well, we'll make sure we link all your socials down below in the description. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Really appreciate it. This was awesome. I'm so excited for you guys.
Danny.
I'm excited to check it out too.
Danny.
So, as always, guys, this is the Central Pennsylvania Music Podcast. Thanks for checking it out. Huge thanks to the guys behind the cameras over there for making this all happen. Thank you to Oversoon for coming out this evening and joining us on the podcast. And we will see you next time.